Fear is not the enemy, it's the doorway to everything you want. Intro. Fear. That word alone can send a shiver down your spine. It triggers something ancient and primal. Your palms sweat, your heart races, your mind scrambles to find the exit. For most of us, fear feels like the enemy. The thing standing in the way. The thing we must get rid of before we can finally live. But what if we've misunderstood fear this entire time? What if fear isn't trying to destroy us, but direct us? What if fear is a compass, not a curse? A flare in the dark pointing toward the thing we care about most. We don't feel fear when we're apathetic. We feel it when something's at stake, something real, something important, something sacred. This voiceover isn't about slaying your fear or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about meeting it, looking it straight in the eye, sitting beside it and saying, okay, let's talk. Because if you want to live a meaningful life, a bold life, a true life, you're going to have to make peace with fear. You'll have to stop treating it like a monster and start treating it like a messenger. So right now, wherever you are, walking, driving, sitting in silence, bring to mind the thing you're scared of, the decision, the leap, the conversation, the risk. Hold it in your awareness as we begin, not to judge it, not to fix it, just to get to know it. Because that fear, it's not a wall, it's a doorway, and it just might lead you to everything you've been asking for. Part 1. Understanding fear. Fear is older than you, older than your story, older than the version of you that's afraid. It's hardwired into the nervous system, a survival instinct handed down through generations. When we faced wild animals, natural disasters, or rival tribes, fear kept us alive. It's not bad. It's not wrong. It's deeply human. But here's the catch. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a hungry tiger and a tough conversation, between a burning building and launching a new idea. So when you feel fear, whether it's standing on a stage, posting your art, saying I love you, or telling someone no, your brain kicks into the same emergency protocol, as if you're in mortal danger. Fight, flight, freeze. Fawn, it's not your fault. You're not weak. You're simply wired to survive. But you weren't born to just survive. You were born to live. And living means knowing when the fear is false, when it's just smoke without fire, when it's a signal, not a sentence. You've felt that, haven't you? The fear that shows up right before something big, right before you grow, right before you change, right before you become someone new. The closer you get to the edge of transformation, the louder fear becomes. Why? Because fear is terrified of change. It wants what's familiar, what's safe, what it knows. But growth demands the opposite. It demands that you move toward the unknown, that you leap without proof, that you say yes while shaking. And that's where courage is born, not in the absence of fear, but in the presence of it. You can be scared and still show up, still speak, still try. That's the magic. Part 2. The psychology of fear. Fear is rarely about what's happening now. It's about what happened then, or what might happen next. It's not rooted in presence. It's rooted in memory and projection. Think about it. The fears that haunt you most, are they really about the moment you're in, or are they echoes of something earlier? A childhood wound, a moment of rejection, a time you failed and didn't know how to get back up. We create narratives around those moments, and fear builds its fortress out of those stories. If I try again, I'll fail again. If I speak up, they'll laugh. If I leave, I'll end up alone. Those aren't facts. They're interpretations. And we treat them like prophecy. But your fear doesn't have a crystal ball. It has a memory. That's all. Fear is deeply tied to your identity. It clings to your past and projects it into your future, creating a loop that keeps you stuck. To break the loop, you have to interrupt the story. You have to ask, is this really true? Who told me this? Where did I learn that love only comes if I earn it? That worth must be proven? That I'm only safe if I stay small? Fear doesn't survive curiosity. The moment you start questioning it, you loosen its grip. You start to see fear not as a dictator, but as a frightened child pulling at your sleeve. And when you meet that fear with compassion, when you listen to it without giving it control, you step into your power. You become the narrator again. Part 3. Fear versus danger. Danger and fear are not the same. Danger is real. Fear is imagined. Danger says, you are physically at risk. Fear says, you might be uncomfortable. Danger is about survival. Fear is about ego. It's about identity, reputation, Perceived failure. Fear tricks your nervous system. It says, if you fail, you die. But that's a lie. You don't die when you fail. You learn. You get feedback. You recalibrate. Danger is immediate. Fear is predictive. If there's a fire, run. If there's uncertainty, lean in. Ask questions. Slow your breath. Check the facts. Learn to distinguish between a threat and a threshold. Because fear often appears right before a major expansion. Part 4. The fear of judgment. One of the biggest fears that holds people back isn't fear of failure. It's fear of being seen, judged, misunderstood, rejected. We fear people's opinions more than we fear living a small, muted life. But here's the truth. Everyone has an opinion. No matter what you do, someone will misunderstand you. Someone will criticize. Someone won't get it. And that's okay. You weren't born to be understood by everyone. You were born to be real, to be bold, to be free. The fear of judgment loses its power when you stop trying to perform and start living aligned with your truth. Because the only approval that truly matters is your own. Part 5. Fear of failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a requirement for it. Every master was once a beginner. Every expert once got it completely wrong. The difference is they didn't stop. They felt the sting of failure, the embarrassment, the doubt, but they kept going. And that's the secret. Success isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up again and again, even when fear tells you not to. The people you admire failed more times than most people even attempt. So if you're failing, you're in good company. You're in motion. You're learning. You're alive. Part 6. Fear and growth. Every time you grow, you have to leave something behind. A habit, a belief, a version of yourself that felt safe. Growth is a death and a rebirth. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be real. Fear shows up to protect the version of you that's being asked to evolve. Not because it's bad, but because it's familiar. The next level of your life will always demand a new level of you. So let the fear be a signpost. Not that you're on the wrong path, but that you're right on time. Part 7. Courage is feeling fear and acting anyway. Bravery isn't loud. It's quiet, subtle. It looks like the first step. The shaky yes. The vulnerable email. The new beginning. Courage is walking into the unknown, with fear still at your side. It's saying, I'm scared, but I'm going anyway. And each time you do, fear gets smaller. You grow bigger. The world opens. Not because it got easier, but because you got stronger. Part 8. How to work with fear. Fear needs a container, not a cage, a channel. You don't destroy fear. You learn to walk beside it. Step 1. Call it out. Name the fear. Don't let it hide. Step 2. Get grounded. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Remind yourself, this is not danger. This is growth. Step 3. Take action. Small, honest, forward. Each step shows fear it's not in charge anymore. Part 9. Fear is the door. Fear is not the obstacle. It's the indicator. The dream you have, it's behind the door marked fear. The love you crave, the business you want to start, the healing, the freedom, it's on the other side of the risk. Walk through. You'll find yourself there. Closing. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing. Willing to keep going. Willing to trust the process. Willing to walk with fear instead of run from it. Fear is not your enemy. It's your signal, your mirror, your next invitation. Let it guide you, not govern you. And remember, you've survived every fear you've ever faced. You're still here, still growing, still becoming. So take the step, say the thing, launch the idea, live the life. You are ready.